You've heard of Pearl Harbor, but this attack happened 25 years before, right here on American soil. And most Americans have never even heard of it. Welcome to Uncovering America's Strangest and Forgotten Real Stories. Today, you're about to witness a night that transformed a quiet American city into a scene of chaos, fear, and unanswered questions. By the end of this video, you'll be asking yourself, how safe was America in the early 20th century? And what secrets were deliberately hidden from the public? Stick around until the end. And don't forget to leave a comment if you've ever wondered what really happens when a nation is attacked from within. It was the summer of 1916, and New Jersey's harbor bustled with ships carrying munitions, weapons, and explosives. The night was quiet, deceptively quiet. Most residents were asleep, unaware that a deadly plan was about to unfold. Then in the darkness, flames erupted. Explosions ripped through the docks, sending fireballs into the sky and shattering windows miles away. Over $2 million worth of explosives, a fortune in 1916, was obliterated in minutes. Factories stopped, train tracks were twisted, and the very ground shook beneath the city. But this was no accident. This was sabotage. Enemy agents had infiltrated America with a clear goal: to disrupt the nation's war supply for Allied forces in Europe. And the attackers succeeded. Ships were destroyed, factories paralyzed, millions of dollars lost. Yet, despite the scale of the disaster, the nation would barely take notice, at least publicly. The locals whispered about shadows near the docks, men acting strangely late at night. Some claimed to hear coded messages carried in the wind. And authorities later discovered strange wires and explosives left behind, evidence of meticulous planning. But no one was ever convicted. But here's where things get strange. The event was so massive, yet it seemed to vanish from public memory. Newspapers printed brief accounts, but the full story was hidden. Investigators had pieces of the puzzle, yet key documents mysteriously disappeared. Some historians now believe this explosion shaped U.S. military policy for decades, changing how the nation would defend itself before America officially entered World War I. And consider this: the Liberty Bell, a symbol of American freedom, was being transported at the same time. Some historians speculate that its infamous crack may have worsened because of vibrations from the explosions. History's small details often hide enormous connections. But what happened next shocked everyone. Within days, similar sabotage attempts were discovered at other ports along the East Coast. Some believe this was a test, a warning of what might happen if America's defenses remained weak. And here's the most chilling part. Some of the suspected saboteurs later went on to live openly in the U.S., blending into society, while the investigation quietly closed. Imagine living through this, hearing distant explosions, seeing fires, and knowing your enemies were already among you, and that justice might never come. The Black Tom explosion was one of the first large-scale acts of domestic terrorism in American history. It destroyed millions in property and forced the government to rethink port security. Insurance companies paid huge claims, shipping routes were rerouted, and in the aftermath, the U.S. intelligence community quietly started building the early foundations of what would become national security protocols. Yet, despite its significance, the story was almost forgotten. The damage to the harbor was extensive, but the narrative faded. Today, a small monument in Jersey City marks the site, but few know the magnitude of the attack or the mystery surrounding the perpetrators. Some documents suggest that the attackers had international support. Some even speculate that the explosion influenced America's eventual decision to enter World War I, showing that no nation was truly safe from global conflicts. Picture that night, explosions lighting up the sky, families running for their lives, the air thick with smoke, and the terrifying thought, enemies were already on American soil. And yet, almost a century later, this story remains a shadow in history books. The Black Tom explosion reminds us that danger can come quietly, and sometimes the past hides lessons we're only beginning to understand. If you love forgotten American history, you'll love what's coming next week. This was just one hidden disaster. Want to hear about the next secret American tragedy? Subscribe. It's coming next week. And comment below, what do you think really happened that night? And could something like this happen again? History isn't just about dates and battles. Sometimes it's about the secrets that nearly vanished, waiting for someone curious enough to uncover them.
If you love uncovering America's strangest, most powerful, and forgotten real stories, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. Tell me in the comments, do you think another act like this could ever happen again?